Good morning, everyone. This is Dorcas Chandler at dorcasgazelle.com. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope things have been well with you. I know that it has been quite a while since I have recorded a new video, but life has just been life, and I'm grateful for everything that I've been through. This morning, I just want to tell you a little bit about my journey and what I've been doing so that we can catch up and move forward. Um, while I was in my room, I just was thinking about what I could talk about that would be relevant to where I'm going and what God is doing in my life. And the topic that came to me is simply waiting in the storm. Have you ever had just things that have bombarded your world and have made you just question so many elements of your life or things that you're going through and you want to know why? And I'm a very um, good person to always try to figure out things. But there's some times in this life, in fact, a lot of times, where we cannot figure out the plan of God or things that we are going through. So we just have to rest and be patient and wait for the storm to pass over. So, what I was doing this morning in my room, I was thinking about a terrible storm. It's raining outside and it's thundering and lightning, and you're waiting for the storm to pass so that you can move forward. And that's how sometimes our lives are. We don't know what's going on, we don't know why things have happened the way that they've happened, or the reason or the cause. We cannot pinpoint, or let me say it like this: when I cannot pinpoint the storm or the things that are happening in my life, I tend to continue to think and try to make sense of the storm. Sometimes storms make no sense. You know, roofs come off of homes, floodings, just different things. A storm is something that most of us or all of us can relate to. Well, the reason why I haven't been here for a while is that my elder sister, Velma, was diagnosed with cancer, and that was devastating to me because of the family members that I've already lost to cancer. And I moved here to Arizona. I live in Arizona. I moved here to be with my sister and to help her in her ministry with the media part of her church. So I've been here for 15 years, going on 16 in a couple of months. And all of a sudden, we were hit with another storm called cancer. And I just knew she was going to pull through. That was what I was wanting. That was what I was believing. But my sister worsened, and things began to look dim. And inside of myself, I was wondering, what am I going to do losing my best friend? Velma was my friend. We talked every day on the phone and laughed and shared different things. But now she's in a place where, at her last stages, that she could hardly talk. And I remember one morning that I called my sister. I called her caregiver and I was asking how she was doing. and they gave her the phone, and we did a video conference. And that was a pretty good day because she could talk a little bit. But when we got ready to get off the phone, she said, Dorcas, this is what I've been waiting on. I need to pray for you. And she prayed for me. And she had talked to me earlier and told me, she said, Dorcas, you need to give me up. Let go of me. And I realized at that point that my sister was dying. But I didn't want to let go because she was my friend. But the more I saw her suffering and in pain and agonizing, I started praying a different prayer. God, please take her. Take her out of her pain. And there were times that they would give her the phone and we could talk, and I would talk to her and she would just sit there and listen at me talking. And just last week, we buried my sister. My sister died. But waiting in a storm, what do you do? So we're getting ready to go to the funeral on Friday. And I walk with a walker. But that day, that morning, when I got up, my back was not cooperating with me at all. So I have a transportation chair that I use in my kitchen to get around. And I knew I needed to take it. And so I asked my friend who picked me up if it was okay, and we took my transportation chair. I was just going to sit in the back of the service because I didn't want to see my sister in a coffin. But I could see her because, she was up front. But when I got there, I realized you cannot handle this death like you've handled all the other deaths. You need to go up there and confront death. You need to go up there and understand that death is a part of life. You can't block it out of your mind. This is really what's happening, and you need to go up there and see your sister in a coffin. So I told the person that was pushing me, can you just take me? I want to go see my sister. I was shocked. But I went up there and I saw my sister in the coffin, and I just sit there and looked at her because I knew that I had to confront death. I realized that death is a part of life, but just by trying to block something out or act like it's not happening when it has happened is a false sense of not only humility, but it's a false sense of reality. And so I sit there, and then I said, okay, I'm ready. They took me back to my seat. I sat down. And when the service was over, everybody, the mortuary, and they turned it over to the mortuary, they were doing row by row. And I wasn't sure if I was going to go or not. But just in my spirit, I heard go. And so I went up there to do the final viewing of the remains of my sister's body. And as I sat there, I realized what she told me. Dorcas, let go. You gotta let go of me. I began to cry. And it was hard for me. But I knew that at that point, deal with it. You have got to deal with it. And so after sitting there, and the pastor that had did the service, he came and comforted me. Then I said, okay, I'm ready to go. And my friend, he took me out of the sanctuary at the mortuary. And as I was going out, I broke. I didn't know what to do in the storm. I didn't know. I knew that that was the last time that I would see the remains of my sister's body. And I cried and cried and cried. And that was the best thing that I could have done. Because at my mom's funeral, my brother was saying, Dorcas, don't cry. Don't cry. You got to be strong. And I said, okay. At my dad's funeral, I was working that funeral the whole time it was going on. The mortuary was coming saying, you're overtime, you're on double time, you're this, that, and the other. So I never dealt with the death of my parents, of my brother, and now my sister. And God was letting me know, you got to confront it so that you don't handle it the way that you did before. Now, this may seem like something really gross, but just bear with me because I'm going somewhere. And so when I got outside and I broke, and my godson's wife just grabbed me and hugged me. She didn't say a word. She just held me and let me cry. Then, as they pushed me on out so that we could get in the processional, somebody came behind me and said, you got to be strong. And that's what I want to talk about. All my life, that was all I've ever known, was to be strong. But that was not what God wanted for me, to be strong. He wanted me to feel what I was feeling and deal with it, because he knew my personality. So I wasn't going to the graveside, and I went to the graveside, and I sat in the car, and I watched them lower my sister's body down in the coffin. That was one of the most devastating moments in my life. But I sat there, and Yahida was right there with me. She was outside the car, but she was just rubbing my hand. And I realized, you got to let go. Now, why am I sharing this? Because most of us, or some of us, or all of us, have at one time dealt with death. Death comes in many facets. It could come in a loved one. It could be because of a death of a marriage, death of friendship. When something is being taken from us, it could be job loss. There are a lot of people who have lost their job, have lost income. Some people that bring my grocery here, they used to have really big jobs, but because their job phased out because of the virus, they're now delivering grocery. So death comes in all different kinds of ways. And if we're not prepared to know how to handle it, then a lot of times we will end up doing and making wrong decisions. So yesterday, I was here at the house. It was Easter. And this website that you're on right now, Dorcas Gazelle, it was like, you need to go on your website and read. And I went down and I read the articles that Michelle wrote about choices. Because there's some choices that I need to make right now. But as I read my website, I seen where that sometimes you need to wait in a storm. There could be everything going on around you, but it's not time to make major decisions. And so when I was reading about choices, and how that every choice, it has a consequence. So I might say, I'm getting ready to do this, I'm getting ready to do that. But we need to wait, especially when we go through emotional strains and things that hurt us inside. So, as I read my website, I understood that now that you understand death, and now that your sister is gone, you have to understand that it's time for you to take care of you. That might sound kind of funny, kind of different, but there's a lot of times that we're taking care of people and those people leave us. And yes, we are supposed to be helpers and help people. And we are supposed to be there for people. And yes, my sister took care of me. We took care of each other. People don't know the whole story. But there's times now that there's some decisions that I'm being confronted with. And there's some things that I'm getting ready to do. But what I heard was wait in the storm until you get clear direction. So I'm reading Michelle's choices. And I'm reading this website. And I said, this website has a wealth of knowledge. And if you could just go out there and read some of the articles that have been written, I believe that you will be blessed, because there is a lot of things that has happened. Number one, I knew that I could lose weight, and I almost got down to under 300 pounds. But then I looked in the mirror at my body, and I seen all this sagging skin, and I became discouraged. Discouragement can disqualify you from getting to where you're wanting to go. That could be death, that could be eating, that could be a lot of things. Discouragement can disqualify you in your marriage, in friendships, in a whole lot of things. So I became discouraged because I thought the more exercise that I did, that my skin was gonna not be sagging. But when I seen all the skin on my body, I said, what's the use? Now, what am I talking about? When I was losing weight, I could get around much better than I am now. I done picked up over 30 some pounds. But I haven't gone where I was. So when I was reading my website that I'm on right now, I realized, Dorcas, to take care of you with the condition in your body, you're going to have to refocus. And so as I begin to read what I wrote and what the other writers wrote in 2015, I realized that I can lose weight. I need to lose weight. I have a back problem. And so these are the things that I'm back wanting to do, because I know that God spoke through my doctor to tell me what to do. So as I was talking to someone this morning, I said, if I didn't know I could lose weight, it would be one thing. But I know that I could lose weight, and I know that I was feeling better, and I know that I could walk through my house without my walker, and I know that I felt better in my mind. Exercise does something for the mind, or for mine anyway. So this is why I wanted to come this morning and to just tell her, no matter what is going on in my life or in your life, there is a remedy. And we have to take care of our bodies, because if we don't take care of our bodies, then we will negate everything that God has for us. There is things that God still have. So what do? I was reading the articles on the website, and I was telling somebody this morning, like I said, those articles really inspired me. I listened to the exercise songs that I have written. I have bought me some new Skechers shoes. Haven't even taken them out of the box. I bought a new scale. It's sitting up on the thing in my bedroom. So what am I saying? Disappointments come in our lives, but never give up, never. Yes, my sister is gone, but I know that God is still here. He's still working miracles in all of our lives. We still have hope, regardless of the pain that's in us, or the tears that we cry, or the losses that we experience. Whether, I don't care what kind of loss that we have. Some things are permanent. Death is permanent. So some things you can never get back. But while I have breath in my body and in my lungs, I have a choice. And that's why I encourage you to go out to dorcasgazelle.com and read the articles on choices. We still have time to do something else. Now, I'm 66 years old, but that does not mean that I am not qualified to keep trying. It doesn't matter how young we are. It doesn't matter how old we are. Please keep trying. And you might say, well, Dorcas, I keep failing at the same thing. I keep failing at what I eat. I'm telling you, I'm getting rid of the stuff in my house that I know that is going to tempt me. When I was started this journey in 2015, and I'm telling you, I was almost under 300 pounds. But when I got discouraged, it disqualified me just for a minute. So I know what I used to eat. And I'm getting ready to, this day, reorder my food and get back focused on the things that I need to do to be the best Dorcas that I can be. And that's all we can all do, is just be the best people that we can be. And I believe that's all God wants from all of us. Just be the best. And some people may not have to exercise. They may be able to eat everything they want to eat. But that's not my journey. That's not what happens to me. Our family is big people, period. So what has to happen? I have to eat different. I have to watch my carbs that turn into sugar. And I'm telling you, I just been eating whatever I wanted to eat. But that's not going to take this fat that's hanging from my body away. I need to keep exercising because it helps my brain, for number one, and because it helps my body. And I believe that all of us need to be healthy, especially in the times that we're living. And I got to get back with my vitamins. In the morning, I used to fix a shake, and vegetables and protein. You got to have your protein, but be led. But this is what I want to say: that waiting in the storm does not mean that storm will not pass. And what has happened is, because of the storm, I am now free to move on to the next level. So, hey, I just want to encourage each of us, be the best person you can be. Be the better person. Be the better person. Help somebody, love somebody, encourage somebody, be strong and of good courage. But understand that we don't always have to be strong When there are things that are bothering us, we need to deal with it. That's my life. I have not dealt with the things that have bothered me. And so I always wanted people to look at me as the strong one. God is the strong one, not Dorcas. I am not Jesus. I have problems and struggles just like everybody else. So I hope that helps you, my story. And I am going to be coming back because I am starting today, start eating and exercising, because I know that when we do this, we can be the better people. And not only the better people, we can go and help somebody else. This has been Dorcas Chandler at dorcasgazelle.com. I love you. And if nobody told you today that they love you, I love you. You be blessed and continue being the better you. Bye-bye until next time.